streaming out of here as well, trying to go find some warmth, find some food in the downtown D.C. area. Some folks I talked to are trying to head to Pennsylvania Avenue to try to catch a glimpse of President Trump. They were only able to see it from that faraway screen and not really hear. So a lot of the folks out here who have been waiting for hours haven't really been able to catch much of the ceremony, at least, little bits and pieces on their phone as they live streamed. But right now, this whole situation in downtown D.C. is sort of collapsing. People are moving out and things are wrapping up here. But during the president's remarks, during when he was sworn in, when now Vice President Vance was sworn in, there were big cheers outside the arena. People were very excited. A lot of folks, waving their flags. Chants of USA erupted as soon as it was all over and the cannons were going off. So it was very jubilant, very celebratory. I talked to a lot of folks here, people from Louisiana, Texas, New York, who have traveled in, Florida. Some people I met from a beach in Florida took a train up overnight from Florida to D.C. Just to be here today. Who are all, even if they weren't coming into the building, were really excited and hoping to hear a message of unity from President Trump. That's what I heard over and over again, just standing outside and talking to folks here.
Can I just mention a very important thing as we wait to see the former president depart, and President Biden is now outside the building. Deepa, the presidents were all inside, the dignitaries were all inside, we're inside, you're still outside. So thank you very much for doing that. Really appreciate it. Hope you're not too cold.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. She says with an eye roll. Really appreciate it. No, it's awesome.
Did you lend her any of your warm gear? Because, Steve, you were supposed to be outside.
I had some warm gear. I could have loaned you a vest. I had good stuff.
Steve, feel free to come join.
Okay.
I mean, there's plenty of room. You're welcome to come hang out.
And we'll just mention what we're seeing here. The presidents are standing side by side with the first ladies, Trump and Biden, standing there on the west front of the United States Capitol now. That is the opposite side from where inaugurations are customarily held today. And I believe that would be Marine One, the helicopter, the U.S. Marine helicopter standing by, and it will carry President Biden and Jill Biden away for a final time. Final time they're likely to have a ride on that. So it's a solemn moment. It's been welcomed in different ways. I have a memory of the 2009 inauguration when Barack Obama was taking over in the middle of the Great Recession for a president, George W. Bush, who was very unpopular at that point. And when the helicopter lifted up and went away, people cheered. There was a giant roar out on the mall because those people were happy to see him go. We would not expect that today because there's not a giant crowd out of the mall, but we will watch this ceremony. And it is interesting here to see the presidents chatting. Donald Trump leaning toward Joe Biden just a bit. A few more remarks over the noise of the helicopter.
Yeah, President Biden has really leaned into all of the traditions. They had tea at the White House today. He invited the Trumps to sleep in Blair House, which is across the street from the White House.
Yeah.
When President Trump showed up at the White House today for this tea, said, "Welcome home." All very traditional, clinging to norms like they're going out of business, while at the same time issuing pardons to members of his family and former members and members of Congress who investigated Trump because he fears that norms may not hold. It is a little bit of cognitive dissonance.
Wanting to point out that the outgoing Vice President Kamala Harris and her husband greeting both the Trumps and the Bidens. I would just say a much warmer embrace of the Bidens as they walk by. Big hugs for both parties. A hug from Kamala Harris, the president, and a big hug to the former First Lady, now former First Lady Jill Biden, as the Harris, as Doug Emhoff and Kamala Harris.
And we can't hear